Really hope the angle is fine.
You've got mail.
I cut my hair and I have new piercings, so that's something. I saw Peach Pit again. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just kind of have summer classes and work. There's always work, but yeah, I don't know. I want to make plans for the summer, but this is what we're going to talk about today. Because I have posted about it like a little bit, but haven't really talked in like a super great amount of detail. But lately, I feel like I I feel like I constantly have to reach out to people, and nobody ever really reaches out to me. Um, and like I don't like saying that because people have lives, like people are busy. Um, but it is something that I have kind of always struggled with, I guess. I like to talk, and not everybody likes to talk all the time like I do. So I guess, like, I don't know if it's a matter of me not feeling like I'm being understood by the people around me. I don't know. I just like it just kind of sucks because I'm not blaming anybody because it's not anybody's fault either. Um, like there's people that I want to reach out to and just be like, "Hey, want to go do this?" But I like stop myself every time because I'm like, "No, like no, don't annoy them, don't bother them." Um, and it's like over very harmless things. So I know that this is definitely something that's kind of more interpersonal, like it's just something going on with myself. But it's frustrating because it's not something that I feel it's always been there in like the back of my mind, but it's not really something that's ever brought like forefront, I guess. Like I'm trying to think of like how to word it. Like it's always there somewhere in my head, but I always kind of push it to the side. Like what I want to do usually overrides those feelings of no, don't like you're bothering them. Don't say anything. Um Perfect example. We have, and I say we as like me and my roommates. We've been having people over for like these parties, get-togethers. I don't really know what to call them because they're not huge by any means. Um, but a lot of times when we're sitting down thinking of like, okay, like who are we inviting? What do we want to do? Because we usually have a theme for them. It's more often than not lately, I have been almost like psyching myself out because I get very, very anxious after we have people over. And it's always like, I hope everybody had fun. Was I weird? Um, and just the general like I hope people want to come back. Because I had friends in my undergrad who would always invite people over and I always had so much fun. And I remember thinking to myself like, "Oh, I want to be that friend. Like I want to invite people over. I want people to want to come over and spend time at our house and feel welcome and just like have fun." I don't know. It sounds kind of naive and everything, but that's just like I've always wanted to be like the host friend, the one that people are like, "Oh yeah, like we go to her house all the time and it's so cool." Da 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 da. But like I that's a little bit like, La La Land. I don't know. Um because I always have the anxiety after and I don't want it to like override the amount of fun that I had when people were over. But a lot of times after everybody leaves, I will be like sitting in my room. I'm like, man, okay, like, did they have fun? Did they have fun? I don't know, like I just hope everybody enjoyed themselves, and I don't know, it sounds so stupid like coming out of my mouth now, but I just, yeah, I don't know. I don't know. And I want to, that is like the only way that I know how to like ask people to um hang out. I I don't know, cuz I feel like it's just, it's less or maybe it's more, I don't know, but because there's more people there, it's like there's, lots of different things going on, so you can like do whatever you want. But if I ask somebody like one on one, um hey, do you want to go to this like thrift store? Do you want to go to a park? Or, just like, again, very normal, simple things. But my brain is just like, dude, like, what the fuck are you doing? Why are you bothering them? Like, stop. You're being annoying. And lately, it's just been more and more and more. And I don't really know why this is happening, or I don't know. And I think like a lot of it is just, I don't want we're not doing the waterworks today. I just like, I don't know. I just like, not to be like I was a weird kid, but I was a weird kid. Like, I was. My brother and I both were weird kids. Um but at first I was very like, did not want to show that side of myself. I don't like, I would have rather just fit in with the crowd and felt uncomfortable in my skin than be myself and let people who understand me come into my life, because I wanted to go with the crowd. Um and now it's difficult because I feel like as an adult, I've kind of accepted more like, okay, like these things that I like and these hobbies that I enjoy, the things that make me like weird, when I was in school, I have been learning to enjoy those more and express those parts of myself a little bit more. And it's hard because I still feel like I don't have I don't it's just like I feel like I'm being true to myself, and I don't feel like I have this mask on anymore, because for a very long time I felt like I was wearing a mask to try and just fit in even just a little bit with people. And now I don't have this mask, and I have made friends, and I'm very grateful for these people because and this I don't like talking about this because it makes me feel like I'm not, being grateful to the fact that I have made friends while I am in this city, because I've lived here for 2 years, and up until probably like, I don't know, last August, maybe? Like end of August, kind of like end of the year last year, I finally started feeling like, okay, like I'm here, like, I need to kind of branch out and explore these new places. Um, but it's hard to make friends because like my college experience, and not to, bring that up, because everybody had something ruined by COVID. I'm not special for being like COVID ruined my college experience. But like my last year at my college is when I made my friends. My last year in my last semester. And I like, they're all scattered to the wind now. None of them reside up here except for like a couple. And I still don't like, I don't really talk to them, because even that group I was kind of like the outside friend. I, love them dearly, but I was not part of the inner circle. At least I didn't feel like I was. Um because a lot of times they would be like, "Hey, we're gonna go do this. Do you want to go?" And I'd be like, "Okay, yeah." And I'd show up and I'd be like, "Where's so and so?" And they're like, "Oh, we don't talk to them anymore." I'm like, "What the hell? Like, what did I miss?" So there was just a lot of stuff that was going on within that circle. I was always like welcome in that group. I never felt like I was, being ostracized or that I was, um, not a part of the group, but I wasn't really part of like the inner circle because I would I would show up to the things that they invited me to and there would be people missing and I'd be like, "Oh, so and so couldn't come?" And they'd be like, "No, we don't talk to them anymore." And I'd just be like, "Oh, okay." Like and I wouldn't get any explanation further than that. Um and I never really pressed because I just figured like, okay, like I guess it's none of my business. So I thought they were cool, but um and I don't know. So I've always been kind of in groups like that where I was just kind of the outside friend. Um and it's hard like I I hate that I'm like falling for this trap, but a lot of what we see on social media is very like snips and bits of people's lives. Um and it's very glorified. Uh Almost like these people are posting these like big groups of people that they're hanging out with and everything, and you look at those posts and it's like, oh man, like that looks like fun, like, and I look at that and I just see these big groups of friends hanging out and I'm like, I wish that I had that. And that's something that even though I have been living up here for a couple years now, like I haven't had that. But I feel like when I see Instagram posts of, groups of friends hanging out and things like that, I just get very like kind of FOMO because I hang out with like the same person every day and she's my roommate, so love her, but I would like to hang out with other people as well. There's a part of me that really wants to have like a group of friends that I feel comfortable just going like, hey, it's a nice day out, like let's go to the beach, let's go do this, let's um and I don't have that, and I it's hard trying to make friends because I always feel like I get into this cycle where it's like, okay, meet this new person, they're really cool. Um, but then I feel like I'm always the one like, hey, like, let's go do this, let's go do this. And for once, like, as whiny and complainy as it sounds, I really would like for somebody to just text me and just be like, hey, do you want to go do this with me? And I don't know. I just like I don't know. That's a large part of like why I have felt recently like when I reach out to people that I have been annoying them is because they don't really reach out to me to ask if I want to do anything or ask about, what's going on. Not that there's a ton going on with my life, but um I don't know. I didn't know. This is what always gets me. This is the argument that I always have with myself is that I can't be upset about something because I haven't gone to somebody and been like, "Hey, like why don't you ever like text me first, Like why don't you ever ask if I want to go do something?" That is my worst fear, that I am texting people who I'm like, "Yay, like they're my friend." And then like I send them a text and they're just like, "Oh, like I don't want to talk to her." My worst fear. I and I think like I don't know cuz I know what it's like to be invited to things out of pity. So I don't want that either. Like it cuz the pity invite sucks. The pity invite is like the worst. It's the worst feeling. It is just awful. Um and that actually it happened to me, it was probably a few weeks ago. But my coworkers were going out to like just get food and drinks or whatever. And at the end of the day, I was like clocking out with them and they were talking about this restaurant that they were going to. And I like jokingly was like, "Oh, what? Like, like, wait, what? What are you guys going to do?" And they're like, "Oh, we're going here. Like, you can come too if you want." No, thanks. Nope. No, actually, it's okay. It is fine. But it's like that the pity invite. It's oh, I don't even have words for it. Just thinking about it just makes me like, oh god, like no, 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 no. My ASMR. But yeah, I don't know. I think that genuinely it do be that phone. I think social media, dating apps, what else? God, pop culture in general, have just decimated social interaction. Period. Um, I'm not saying there isn't normal social interaction because there definitely is, but I feel like I don't know, everything just feels superficial. Like it is very fake, and like when I go out and people come up to me to talk to me, it's like I it's never about like actually interacting with me, if that makes sense. I'm trying to think of an example that I have. Oh, my roommate and I went to a bar after a show. So I sat down and pulled out like this little digital camera that I have, and immediately three guys sat down with us, and he's like chatting me up and stuff. So he's like, "Oh my god, you got one of those? Whoa, where'd you get it, dude?" And I was just like, I've had this since high school. Like I took it from my parents' house, you know. And I like try to be open to having conversations with people because like you never know what's going to happen. I've like met great people that way, but I I don't know. There, you can just tell. You can tell sometimes when people are like, yeah, yeah, yeah. Like I'm not listening to a word you're saying. I'm just trying to like, you know. That was gross. Anyways, sometimes there's just like a motivation behind when people come up to have a conversation with you, and I feel like when that is apparent, it's like it's just bad. Majority, like 9 times out of 10, when I go somewhere, that is the type of interaction that it is. And it literally, it drives me insane because I never like go into any sort of situation being like, this has to happen and this is what's gonna happen. And like, I don't try to like force anything. I'm just kind of like, okay, like, you know, and then whatever happens, it happens, you know? I don't know. I feel like I just all I do is come on here and complain. Um, I mean, yeah, kind of. I'm not opposed to talking to people at bars. Like I think, it's good to socialize and, mix and mingle, whatever. But unfortunately, I think a lot of times people go to bars or just like places in general with a one-track mind of like I need to get laid tonight. I need to do this. Like, I need to take somebody home and like blah 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 blah. And I'm not like saying that to be a prude because I'm pretty much like the freaky Sonic. I might be picky, but I am not a prude. Um and I don't know. I think people get it in their heads that it's like this has to happen. Oh my god, if this doesn't happen, you might as well we're just gonna pack it up and go home. Just go and enjoy things for what they are. There's like this middle ground of like it's like a purgatory basically. I feel like where it's like you can, go out and like hope that something happens, but it's so weird to me when people are just absolutely crushed that something doesn't happen, or vice versa. They are so bent on like, oh my god, I have to take somebody home, that they'll just like take any random person home. I like again, I'm not trying to be a prude because I'm not. I am not a prude. But that is also weird to me. Sorry. Sorry. I just like hey. um I just I don't know. I just don't you don't you don't know them. And I know where one night stand is, okay? I think not to be a Debbie Downer. I just like I don't know. I'm not trying to be like, you know, our generation just is screwed. We can't it's those damn phones, which it is. I'm sorry, it is. The amount of like social media, like performative, like look at how good my life is going right now, guys. I am just so blessed. Shut up. Shut up. But I just feel like a lot of what, especially like, God, I love TikTok, but TikTok is a huge part of it. Instagram and TikTok, I feel like, are probably the biggest things. Um, at least in my experience. I just everything is just fake. I don't know. I like when I post on Instagram, I try to make it kind of like very me, but then I'm like, is this too much? Like, should I just fucking like throw a picture up there and just, whatever? Anyways, I don't really know where I'm going with this because I feel like I've gotten like really, really off track. What do we have? Because I feel like I'm sinking lower and lower into my bed. But um, what do we got going on? So I currently lately feel annoying to everyone that I know. Kind of the worst feeling ever, maybe. And then also, I just feel like social media and all that is very performative. And like, I threw dating apps in there as well because ugh, God, just like take me out back and put me down old Yeller style if you ever see me download one of those again because I can't do it anymore. I genuinely cannot do it anymore. There's no originality on those apps whatsoever. You're judging somebody based off of like pictures and like a couple words they put down for a prompt. I'm sorry. You will never be able to convince me that dating apps are like genuinely all right. I just I think it's so disingenuous. I think it is like you're getting a glimpse of somebody and then based on that glimpse, you create a picture of them in your head and then you get disappointed when they're not what you expected. That's just my thoughts. Anyway, um social media? Yeah, clocked that T. I have so much beef with both of those things. And I feel like there was a third one that I maybe mentioned and I'm forgetting it, but I I don't know. Those are things that have been on my mind recently. Um, I don't know. I just like, and it's hard too, like finding people that genuinely like won't judge you because I am just very tired of finding friends feeling like, hey, like I finally, finally have this thing that I wanted. Like this is great. Cuz I've had like groups before and some of them were good and some of them were not good. And it's never been anything that's really like directly involved me, which is another reason why I'm kind of the outsider friend because it like didn't involve me and the group faded away. So like I don't know if that makes sense, but um I don't know. And then like there have been times where I did have like a little group and I just kind of, over time realized that these people don't understand me. Like not I'm nothing like y'all. I'm nothing like y'all. No, but like I think you need to find people that at least try to understand you. Cuz I've been friends with people where it's good, like they're fun to hang out with and everything, but at the end of the day, like I don't feel like they're really trying to get to know me or understand me, and I feel like I have tried to understand them and know them better just as a person, and then they kind of look at me and they're like, "Okay, that was fun. Okay, bye." And I'm just kind of like, "Oh, I don't know. I just like I I want to be close with people in general. Like I like being connected. I think that that is a very big thing that is missing from, and not to like be that person, but like society as a whole is just a lack of community, and that I think is probably where my feelings of like struggling are coming from, is because I don't feel like I have a super strong sense of community. And again, I don't like saying that because I have made friends, um and I don't want to seem ungrateful for that, but I also feel like time and time again I am consistently just kind of like there, existing, I guess. Not to be super depressing or anything, but uh I don't know. So welcome, hey guys, welcome back. I'm back. I don't know. I should say I love my friends very dearly. I will literally do anything for them. Um I just feel like there's just something missing, I guess. And it's not like I don't need to be attached at the hip to anybody, because honestly, if I was talking to somebody that much, I would probably end up not liking them anymore. But I'm scared to kind of like, it sounds so stupid coming out of my mouth now. I'm scared to ask my friends to hang out with me because I feel like I'm annoying them. Oh, that hurt actually. That did not feel good to say, and ooh, ooh, that like I like took physical damage saying that out loud because that made me really sad actually. Like my roommate told me, she was like, you're like really good at doing this thing where you try to act like super mean and scary and that you're just this bitch, but you're just not. And I was like, she's on to me. I do kind of like tend to take on this like I try to act mean and scary and everything, but it doesn't work. Nobody believes me. Um because I'm really bad at it. I am really bad at it. I'll try to act mean and scary and tough and that I don't like people when that's probably the furthest thing from the truth. Just like kind of what I said, I like to be connected to people, and as a result a lot of times sometimes I just feel like I'm overstepping or overreaching, and then I end up annoying people and bothering people and kind of drive them away. But also at the same time, when I start noticing that, usually I'll kind of like shut back down and try to be quieter. And that can be harmful too. So, uh, I don't, I, I don't know. I think a lot of times, I genuinely like, I don't, and this is the other kind of like issue that I have is it's ironic for like just the field that I'm going into, but a lot of times I will miss social cues. I'm not trying to use that as an excuse. Like I genuinely like unless you tell me point blank to my face, sometimes I just will not pick up on shit. And so I get worried that like, oh, maybe there was something that I should have picked up on and I didn't. And now they're like, you're being annoying. At baseline, I think most people desire to be liked by others. Um, but then also at the same time, it's just like, who are you trying to impress? Because if they like you, great, they like you, they're your friends. But then other times, you're gonna meet people who just aren't gonna click. God, this was a huge issue that I had. Kind of like when I first moved over here, I met some people and was hanging out with them, and I've talked about it before, but I really like I was finally part of a group, and I really wanted to be liked, so I felt like I was just kind of overexerting myself in an effort to get them to like me. And I always felt like I had to work a lot harder because I'm not gonna lie, like most of the time I meet people and I'm just like, okay, you're my friend now. Like, I feel like I make an effort to get along with most people. And these people, like, again, I don't think they really cared, like, looking back at it. Um, but I wanted to be liked by these people so bad, so I would just I lost myself in it a little bit, and I turned into somebody that I just wasn't. um I like talk about it a lot because it's just, I don't know, it just it was a life lesson. But it was another one of those things where, like, I wanted to be liked so badly by these people that I squashed a lot of the things that made me me. Um, and then I was just like miserable because of it. And looking back at it now, I'm like, well, these people never really liked you to begin with. Why did you try so hard to be liked by them? Instead of, finding other people that are more similar to you. But I think it's kind of a struggle that way too, because it's like, well, at least you know these people. They might not like you, and you had to change things about yourself for them to like you, but now you have to uproot yourself and go find new people, which there's no guarantee that that's going to happen. It's just like the unknown, and change is scary, and it will always be. But I don't think that is, what should stop you from doing that, even though it stopped me for a little bit of time. But not forever. Eventually, I got over it and, moved on to different people that understand me a little bit better. Um, but yeah, I don't know. This is just like something that's been on my mind a lot. I don't really know if I articulated it very well at all, but hopefully I did in a manner that, was somewhat easy to understand. Um, for now, I think I am going to try and screw a little spike back onto my septum. It fell off like a couple days ago. Tried to screw it back in and then lost it somewhere. So I have like extra ones now. Um, but yeah, I don't know. Just septum's losing spikes, pants falling down. I don't even want to play no more. Other than this issue that I have been dealing with, um, I've been kind of getting back into some hobbies and stuff. Now that it's summer, I feel like I have a little bit more time, before ultimately I'm going to have to start my internship, and then I will have zero time. And that's very scary to me. That is maybe also a little bit of the reason that I am like feeling this way, is because I know when this internship starts, I really truly won't have a lot of time, which means that I'm not going to see my friends as much. And I'm just scared of my ability to kind of like nurture those connections, and if they will still be there for me, like when my internship is over, or if like the friendships that I have are gonna disappear because I don't have time to like do anything. I don't. I'm trying to like not leave it off on a sad, you know. Yeah, yeah. But I can't like. I can't think of anything. I don't know. I'll show you guys. You guys can see my Venus flytrap. Hang on. Here's my Venus flytrap. Pretty cool. One of the plants is closed. I don't know if that means maybe it caught something. Um, but yeah, I really, really enjoy carnivorous plants. Venus flytrap's probably my fave. but I got this one maybe a week ago at the farmer's market. Oh, I love carnivorous plants. They're so cool. Like, what do you mean this thing eats bugs and that's how it gets its nutrients? Like, that is so cool. Anyways, I could probably talk for about 5 hours about this plant, so I won't do that. I'm gonna, probably stop the video right here. This is the other thing before I go. I don't want to always talk about like these things that I'm struggling with all the time. Um, I want to like talk about some stuff that is maybe just more lighthearted. And I have a list of stuff. So eventually, like, I'm gonna try and find a, a method or like some way of making a video on those that is maybe a little bit more yippee and lighthearted rather than just like, yep, life sucks again. Feeling annoying and carnivorous plants. That's the takeaway from today. Um, yeah, I don't know. I think I'm just gonna cut it right here because I gotta go water this guy. So